Surely Tadej Pogacar couldn't win a flat TT against the likes of Josh Tarling on Ineos and Stefan Bissegger. This was stage 2 of the UAE Tour. We had a nice uphill sprint yesterday. Now we have the TT around Al Hudayrat Island, 12.2Ks, a little bit longer than previous years, but pancake flat. But the weather and wind conditions was really important today. Quite a strong headwind on the initial straight, and Jonathan Milan, he had to go last. Everyone else got to choose their slot for the TT. This TT is all about the slots that the team selected, and the earlier slots were better with a weaker headwind in the initial part of the TT. That's when Romeo and Castrillo went for Movistar. Romeo doing a big time up on JPP at the intermediate, and he would carry that. He's up on sort of Stora and Felix Gall, the weaker TTGC riders, by a lot at this finish, and this looked like a really strong early time from the under-23 TT World Champion. Carlos Rodriguez also setting a really good time for such a slender rider on a flat power course, same as Pello Bilbao, actually losing only 15 seconds or so to Ivan Romeo. The guys like Van Aert and Only were a little bit worse. They lose over 30 seconds plus to Pogacar today. These sort of riders are, 60 kilos, 61 kilos. It was a good sort of course for Finn Fisher-Black, who was in good shape yesterday, came second after Philipsen's relegation, maybe could have won if he didn't get boxed in, and he did a good TT as well, up there in the top 10. He's the Kiwi national champion, I believe. He's just changed teams, so a lot of new equipment, so it's not always easy to just get that, dialed in straight away in one off-season. But it's time for Tadej Pogacar. All the big guns went early, and UAE's two best slots, they obviously gave to Pogacar and Jay Vine. So we're seeing what would the gaps be to the slender GC riders like Van Aert, who won GC here last year. And not just that, Pogacar, he might have been on track to win this stage, 5 seconds ahead of Romeo at T1, who, as I said, is no slouch in a flat TT. That boy can do 450 watts for days. And Pogacar smokes him at the finish. Can't break 13 minutes, but goes at about 13:10 for 10 seconds ahead of Romeo, and these are big gaps, 25 seconds to Rodriguez and then to guys like Gall and Co. But after the TT, he didn't look too happy. He was remonstrating with the Soigneur, maybe, who is saying, look, there's a pole ahead of us. But still, great TT from him. Who could stop him, though? The two men straight afterwards, Stefan Bissegger, the new Swiss signing on Decathlon Age La Mondiale, who's come second in this TT, this very TT before, to someone like Pippo Ganna. He's up 9 seconds on Pogacar, and the back half of this course is even quicker, 56 k's an hour, where you want to be a bigger unit. We're back on the units. He beats Pogacar's time. Is that going to be enough to win this TT? Joshua Tarling was the favourite. He should win. He said he has to win for himself and the team before the race, but he had bad luck last year, some mechanicals costing him Olympic medals. He catches his Minute Man within 5 minutes of the TT, and he is absolutely moving. We all know Tarling paces these TTs really well. Him and Ganna sometimes have been negative splitters, and he's up 3 seconds on Bissegger, and at that point, without misfortune, it was pretty clear, at least to me, that he was going to win this TT by a fair margin, barring incident, which he was taking still some risk, but you have to in these short TTs through the corners. Every half a second counts. Bissegger, looking on nervously, just got to the hot seat, and he was right to be nervous because Tarling, he didn't slow down. Bissegger slowed down a little bit on the back half, and Tarling kept the same pace. First at T1, fastest from T1 to the finish, and fastest obviously at the finish. The only man to go under 13 minutes and over 56 or 57 k's an hour. Jay Vine, he was one of the last riders in what I would call the good starting slots. He does another excellent time trial. So UAE, they got two GC contenders leading the race already. They got cards to play, but then the weather turned as predicted. And Michael Bjerg, good TT rider, won a Dauphiné TT. You see at T1, you're like, is the timing broken? The timing's not broken. Bjerg was trying. The problem was the weather. The headwind really picked up on that initial straight. And for Paul Seixas, he got the bad slot, the young GC contender. Tarling sitting pretty, and Seixas lost a lot in the headwind. He nearly crashed through one of the tighter corners, And I honestly think he could have come top 10 in this TT with a better slot. He's the junior TT world champion. Milan knows he would have wanted to defend the jersey, but for some reason, I don't know how the rules allow it, he's the only rider that couldn't choose his slot, which seems completely unfair that the rider that was good enough to win the stage yesterday has to get the worst slot. But anyway, at 56 seconds back at T1, Tarling knows he doesn't celebrate yet, not to jinx it, but when Milan crosses the line, he allows himself just a little quick fist bump. Job well done. Tarling wins another World Tour race. Ahead of Bissiger than Pogacar, Vine, Valscheid, great TT, Castrillo, Romeo, great day for Movistar, Bilbao, Vermeersch, Fischer, Black. Here's what Tarling had to say after the stage.
Josh, before this time trial, you said, I want to win, I need it. You're a young rider with a bright future. Why did you need it so badly now?
I think just from the end of last year, I had a bit bad luck and kept coming second in the TTs with Remco, and so yeah, I needed this, and yeah, I'm super happy.
So how did you prepare for it, and what was your state of mind before the race, knowing that you were here against Pogacar?
Yeah, I think I had a good winter. We went to Tadej with the team, and I guess, you know, from Kwiato yesterday, the team has a super good mindset, and he got the ball rolling for us, and yeah, I was trying to be confident.
Take us through this time trial, your feelings during those only 12 kilometers.
Yeah. I mean, it was really windy. First part was really headwind, and then there was a long crosswind section. So yeah, it was the first part was the hardest, and then we got a bit of respite with the corners towards the end. So yeah, it was kind of two halves.
But in terms of GC, as I said, UAE, they got the two best placed GC contenders, Pogacar and Vine. There's Jebel Jais tomorrow and Hafid later on the weekend, so they can play numbers, they can just defend for Poggy, and he can just win on bonus sprints, or he'll probably go solo on one of the stages and win that way and put on a show. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see the recap of the uphill finish tomorrow. Ciao.